Today, we will crown a champion. Heavy is the head who wears that crown. UCLA is the defending national champion, and they might be the most talented collegiate team ever to compete. This year, though, the Bruins have been searching for the heart needed to win back-to-back titles. For Georgia, is it the end of an era or the beginning of a dynasty? Christy Litchie closes out her dynamic career, and she passes the collegiate torch to freshman sensation Corey Fritzinger, who hopes to lead Suzanne Yocklin's Gym Dogs to their third title in 4 years. Michigan's Elise Ray has lived her Olympic fantasy. Now can she fulfill Big Blue's dream of a first-ever national championship? For Utah, can they win a record 10th NCAA title? The University of Alabama and Nebraska rounds out the field. Who will take home the prize? Who will be crowned national champion? Welcome to Stegman Coliseum on the campus of the University of Georgia, site of the 2001 NCAA Women's Gymnastics Championship. It's a tough ticket in Athens. A sellout crowd is expected for today's Super 6 competition.
Let's go,
And hi, everyone. I'm Craig Bolerjack. This is the third time that Georgia has hosted this competition, winning the national championship in front of their home crowd back in 1989. And they are back once again in the Super 6 to try to capture yet another national championship. And in the Super 6 is UCLA and Utah, Michigan, Alabama, and the Cornhuskers of Nebraska. And with me is 1996 Olympic gold medalist Amanda Borden. And Amanda, UCLA is back to defend their national championship. The scary thing is the Bruins may be better this year than they were a year ago.
Well, it is hard to believe, but UCLA is back and better than ever. They have senior veteran and co-captain Mohini Bhardwaj, who is backed by 3 Olympians, 2 being on the United States team, Kristen Maloney and Jamie Dancher, as well as 2-time Olympian Yvonne Toussaint from Canada.
Amanda, Georgia hopes to ride the emotion of this hometown crowd once again to yet another national championship. However, there is some concern. Their All-American Christy Litchie re-injured her ankle during the vault in the preliminaries.
Well, it is very unfortunate for the Gym Dogs because I know they were counting on Christy's scores. She will be competing in the bars and the beam. As for the floor and vault, if she competes, she might have to water down. But they are very fortunate to have a strong freshman team. They have Corey Fritzinger and Marlene Stevens, and they're looking to capture their 6th title.
Watch out for Michigan. This is a very talented, a very deep team, and also the terrific freshman Elise Ray.
Well, not only is Elise Ray a 2000 Olympian, she is now the 2001 co-all-around champion. And Michigan did a fabulous job in prelims, and they're looking to do that here in the finals.
On the first rotation, UCLA will start on the floor, Georgia the bars, Utah the beam, and Alabama the vault. 6 competitors in each event, and the top 5 scores count towards the team totals. Alabama head coach Sarah Patterson, in her 23rd year, 3 NCAA championships, and a 3-time National Coach of the Year. And first, Erin Holdifer, a freshman out of Northport, Alabama, Bama's leadoff vaulter all season.
Very nice hamstring pike front, great landing. You know, being the first competitor can always be difficult. You want somebody who has a clean, consistent vault.
Amanda Erin scored a 9.8 in the preliminaries.
Here we can see it again. She does a handspring on, pike front, nice form, and right there, the most important part, a great landing.
And a score of 9.8 for Erin Holdifer. Greg Marsden, Utah head coach in his 26th season, impressive resume, 9 NCAA championships, and finished second a year ago in Boise. This is Kylie Wagner, one of 4 Utah juniors on this squad, her hometown, Salem, Oregon.
The balance beam can be a very difficult event to start the competition on. The crowd is loud. They have to keep their concentration. There's her flight series, back handspring, layout step, and oh. You can see she was kind of crooked there. That'll be a 5/10 deduction.
Not the start you would expect from Utah, Amanda. Their strongest event, ranked #1 in the country.
Starting off with a mistake is never easy, but as you mentioned earlier, they can drop a score and they can count their 5 best scores.
Wagner scored a 9.850 in the preliminaries. Over on the bars, Suzanne Yanklin, Georgia's head coach, 18th season in Athens, 5 national titles back-to-back in 98 and 99, and some concern, of course, with her star, Christy Litchie, sprained her ankle on the final vault of the preliminaries.
You can see it right here. She's doing a handspring pike front half. She opens a little too early, and you can see her land short.
Christy Litchie, one of the best all-arounders in the country, and looking on, father Dave, sister Karen, a couple of national titles to her credit as a gym dog. Amanda, how much will the ankle maybe affect her performance on this event?
Well, you can see right here she does a board mount, and I'm sure she feels pain punching the board as well as on the dismount at the end. Giant 1.5, slightly off right there. She's fighting through. That will be a slight deduction. She actually has a similar move coming up right here, a giant full. You can see she's losing her body position. She's a little bit off balance. Nice double layout. Right there you can see she fought the pain on that landing. It was nice and clean.
Well, that's the heart and soul of the Georgia Gym Dogs, Christy Litchie.
You can see right here, she's preparing for a giant 1.5. And her feet are slightly leaning to the other direction. She needed to be straight, but she did a great job of fighting through it. And although that was supposed to be a handstand, she hung in there.
Well, the score is a 9.450, so a rough start for the Georgia Bulldogs. And for Utah, also a tough go. Kylie Wagner scores a 9.3 on the beam. And there's UCLA head coach Valerie Condos-Field in her 11th season. Trained as a ballet dancer, this team excels in choreography, but struggling, Amanda, in their first rotation. Kristen Parker with a 9.2 on the floor.
Well, this is her last pass right here. Didn't quite get enough height on a double pike, took a short landing. That's a 3/10 to a 5/10 deduction.
And now Kristen Maloney, 2000 U.S. Olympian, 2-time U.S. all-around champion. Scored a perfect 10 on March 4th in the Bruins Classic against Cal, Utah State, and UC Santa Barbara.
Well, you know, Craig, Kristen did not compete this event in the prelims due to soreness in her shin. But they're looking for a big score in the finals. Opening with a very difficult first pass, double layout, beautifully done.
Amanda, Kristen only competed on the beam in the preliminaries to save herself for the finals. Amazing story for Kristen Maloney. During the 1999 season, fractured her leg and has been competing with a titanium rod. There are plans to have that removed very soon.
Getting ready for second pass right here. Nice double pike, right off the landing. Kristen is still performing difficult tumbling, but not the most difficult for her. And that may be due to the shin or the lack of being able to practice.
UCLA, Amanda, prides themselves so much. The choreography you'll see, and that's really the stamp of their head coach.
That's right. Val has a very good dance background, and you can see that in all their choreography. It's a very clean routine, and that should get a very good score for the Bruins.
And a score they need. No one at this point can afford another bad score.
Here's her first pass again. A very difficult double layout and a beautiful landing.
A solid 9.8 for Kristen Maloney on the floor, and we are underway in Athens.
CBS Sports coverage of the NCAA Women's Gymnastics Championship is sponsored by the Grand Am with Solid Form Design by Pontiac, Dr. Scholl's brand, Treat yourself right. And by Scott's Turf Builder with +2 weed control for a thick green lawn and no weeds.
From Alabama coming into this championship, but just a week before this event, their star, Andrea Pickens, suffered a partial tear of the left Achilles tendon.
It's difficult any time to lose an athlete, and certainly one of the magnitude of Andrea Pickens, and then to have it happen with 3 practices left in the season after we've had such a terrific year, I think makes the situation even more difficult. But I will say that our team is remarkable. They are just remarkable young women, and they are resilient.
She's being a great team supporter, but I can tell you Alabama will surely miss the big scores she brings to this team.
Plenty of 9-9s that Andrea Pickens has delivered. On the vault, Kristen Sterner.
Performing a very nice handspring pike front half. You can see a hop on the landing.
And you can see it's going to be difficult to replace those 9-9s delivered by Andrea Pickens. And now, Kathleen Shreves, a senior from Dayton, Ohio, has scored 9-9 or higher 8 times this season. Ranked number 12 and shared the SEC Bars title with her teammate, Corey Fritzinger.
Nice hop full to a beautiful Takachev. Very important to have clean form. Getting prepared for a dismount. Giant full. Into a nice full twist and double back. Great landing. That is what Georgia needs.
Plenty of excitement on that Gym Dog bench. Sterner scores a 9.775 on the vault. And Shreves, 9-9. On the floor will be Jamie Dancher, one of 2 former U.S. Olympians on this Bruin team. Only a freshman, ranked number 1 on the floor.
In her very first collegiate competition, she scored a 10 on this event. She's an incredible tumbler. Opening with a very difficult double layout, beautifully done. Right back into her second pass, 1.5 through to a front half to a layout step out.
Playing to the crowd.
Jamie is a great performer. I actually had a chance to judge her in the Rock and Roll Gymnastics Championship, which she won.
And Amanda, again, you can just see the stamp of their head coach. The choreography that these girls bring to the floor to their event.
Well, I am always impressed by that. And I can tell you that Jamie was a part of the post-Olympic tour, and I'm sure performing there where it is all about performance has helped her in this event.
And later on in this show, we're going to talk more about that transition from Olympic to collegiate life.
And here's her last tumbling pass. Great double back. Beautiful height, clean landing. Actually, I've seen no deductions.
Well, she scored 5 perfect 10s during the regular season. And a strong performance by Jamie Dancher.
Here's her last tumbling pass again. Great height on this double tuck. And a beautiful landing.
And a strong score of 9.950 for Dancher. UCLA really starting to hit a stride, but not the story for Utah. On the beam, Teresa Wolf falling. Kylie Wagner fell earlier, so Utah will have to count a fall.
You can see it right here. It's her flight series. Remember, this is only 4 inches wide, so it's not hard to fall. You can see her back foot slightly off, and that took her off the beam.
Well, now the pressure is on Teresa Kulikowski, but she knows all about pressure. She had a terrific 1999, was the NCAA all-around and beam champion, the runner-up on the vault and floor, a solid performer. But a knee injury fell Kulikowski in 2000, January 28th. She won a medical hardship from the NCAA to regain her sophomore status. Her comeback has been remarkable, with a #1 ranking in the beam and a national title.
It was kind of a roller coaster ride, mentally and emotionally and physically. Just everything. I had some ups, I had some downs, and I think everything was just a good learning experience. And I think I grew a lot, like as an athlete and as a person.
Teresa Kulikowski from Colorado Springs. Amanda, because of the knee injury suffered last year, competing this year only on bars and beam.
I think when I talked to her, they felt that she could possibly be competing on the other events, but they wanted to make sure that she was strong enough for the next season.
Kulikowski scoring a 9.875 in the prelims.
Gainer back handspring, layout, step out. Slight balance error. Teresa competed at the 1996 Olympic trials and was the alternate. So if anybody can handle pressure, Teresa can.
Oh, and remember, 2 Utes have already fallen on this event. Utah so strong as a team in the preliminaries, struggling today.
As I mentioned earlier, it's very difficult to start in this event. And not only that, they're in front of a very loud crowd. And you can see the pressure's getting to them today. Getting ready for her dismount. Cartwheel full off the side. Great landing.
Plenty of applause from the Utah crowd. Here's the Georgia freshman, Corey Fritzinger from Virginia Beach, Virginia, and her mom and dad, Cliff and Gail. Many say Fritzinger, Amanda, the best freshman all-arounder in the country.
She is so aggressive. She struggled on this event in the prelims. And I know she's back to fight it out. Beautiful Tkachev back up to an front giant. That's a beautiful shoot to handstand.
Corey scored 9.9 or higher on the bars 10 times this season. Had a perfect 10 against North Carolina.
Getting ready for the dismount. That's where she struggled in the prelims. Beautiful double front half and a great landing. And you can see the excitement.
You can also hear the emotion. Mom and dad like it. And now Georgia getting some emotion. That home crowd pushing the Gym Dogs. On the floor, Mohini Bhardwaj, the Pac-10 Gymnast of the Year, also the NCAA champion in this event.
Very interesting side pass. You'll see in this routine the incredible choreography.
Amanda, she is the rock for UCLA.
She is the only senior on this team, and she does lead the way. Very experienced competitor.
Scored a 9.950 in the preliminaries.
Getting ready for her last pass. Looking for a good landing. Front full to front tack, a little bit of a struggle, but she pulled it out.
Her name means illusion in Hindi, and I saw some illusions on the floor. Terrific performance by Mohini Bhardwaj. Teresa Kulikowski with a 9.75 for Utah. The Utes, however, struggling on the beam. Georgia with a strong performance from Fritzinger, 9.9, and UCLA, after a sluggish start, strong from Bhardwaj, and 9.9. After one rotation, the Bruins in first place, followed by Georgia, Alabama, and Utah. And now our third member of our team. Here's Bonnie Bernstein with Alabama head coach Sarah Patterson.
Alabama goes 48-975 after their first event vaulting. But the big issue is the loss of Andrea Pickens. Sarah, how is your team dealing with that?
Well, I think we responded extremely well. I think, you know, if you'd asked us the day she got hurt, which is just less than a week ago, you know, I think it would have been difficult. But the next day, I thought we had the intensity and the spirit to win a national championship. So I think her teammates want to do this for Andrea.
Up next, Michigan starts their march toward a national championship led by their fantastic freshman, Elise Ray. UCLA will start the second rotation on the vault, Georgia the beam. Michigan will make their debut on the bars, and Nebraska the floor. Entering the NCAA Gymnastics Championships, UCLA is the top-ranked team and the defending national champions. So what is Valerie Condos-Field's secret to remaining number one? It's more than just talent.
What I've noticed with both of our national championships is the year after, both times we've had phenomenal freshmen. And so they come in just thinking that it's going to happen because we're UCLA and it's going to happen. And it's a rude awakening for them mid-season when you lose the meet, or as we did, we lost the Pac-10 conference by half a tenth, and it's not just going to happen. And I tell them from day one, the most talented team in any sport never wins. It's the team with the most heart.
Well, a young lady with a lot of heart, Kristen Maloney.
UCLA did not have the cleanest showing on the vault in the prelims. They've decided to put Kristen Maloney in the lineup. Performing a Yurchenko full. Great landing. Coming off the prelims, they felt that they needed to focus on cleaning up the landing.
Let's move to the beam. This is Georgia's Marlene Stevens, a freshman, part of that tremendous freshman duo with Corey Fritzinger. Stevens from Houston, Texas, scored a 9.8 in the prelims.
Switch leap to straddle jump. Required gym series. Each athlete is required to do a flight series, a gym series, a mount, and a dismount. She's preparing for her dismount right now.
Amanda, it's very important that Georgia has a strong showing on the beam. Remember, looking at the rotations, UCLA will finish on this apparatus.
Well, it was a great start. Beautiful dismount. Round double tuck.
Marlene Stevens, 19 years young. Maloney with a 9.825 on the vault. Stevens scores a 9.850. And there's Dan Kindig, Nebraska head coach in his 8th season, 4th Super 6 appearance. And Amanda, he used to wear a tux, but discarded the cummerbund last year in Boise, and here in Athens, he looks very casual.
His team has done a great job. Jennifer French. Nice 1.5 punch pike front.
French, all-around competitor for the Huskers, a sophomore from Greensboro, North Carolina. She scored a 9.9 on the floor back in February against Oklahoma. Amanda, when you score this event, how much tumbling versus maybe the choreography?
Well, each athlete is required a certain amount of difficulty, which determines their start value. And whether they started at 10 or a 9.9, the deductions are standard. But performance is always a part of the floor exercise.
Husker fans have made the trip to Athens. And now Yvonne Tusick, two-time Canadian Olympian, and the West Region co-champ on the vault, scoring a career-high 9.925.
Performing a Yurchenko Arabian. Great landing. They have just allowed the Yurchenko vault into the collegiate sport about 2 years ago. You'll see a lot of athletes performing it.
Jen French scoring on the floor a 9.825. And Amanda, looks as if UCLA has fixed their landings. Tusick with a strong 9.9. There's Bev Plotke, head coach of Michigan, 12th year in Ann Arbor, 6-time Big Ten Coach of the Year. On the bars, Karina Senior, a senior out of Dayton, Ohio.
Nice straddle over mount to back upright to handstand. She has beautiful form. Nice Jaeger to shoot over.
Amanda Karina is considered Michigan's most naturally talented athlete.
She's a beautiful gymnast. You can see by her bar routine. She has incredible form, beautiful landing. A nice solid routine for Michigan.
So Michigan is off to a strong start. And now to the beam. Kathleen Shreves scored a 9.9 earlier on the bars.
Back handspring layout, step out.
Amanda, how much is a home crowd? How much do you actually hear while you're performing?
Well, on this event, you should be so concentrated that you do not hear anything. But I can tell you on the other events and before and after every performance, these athletes feel the energy.
Shreves has scored a 9.85 on the beam 4 times this season. And let me remind you, the beam 4 inches wide.
That's right. It can be very difficult to stay on. She's preparing for her dismount. Run off double full with a stuck landing.
Oh, the crowd loves it. Senior picks up a 9.85 on her bar routine. And Shreves continues to put the pressure on UCLA with a 9.9. Coming up, Michigan's Elise Ray and UCLA's Ani Willis. They both share the all-around title. And Georgia's Christy Litchie will test her ankle once again. Back to Athens after this.
You'll see the...
This year in Athens, all-around champions, Ani Willis and Elise Ray. 2 superb gymnasts, but Amanda, 2 with different styles.
They share the same title, but that is right. Ani Willis is a powerful, dynamic gymnast. Elise Ray is beautiful and elegant.
Willis is a former U.S. national team member and now an NCAA all-around champion.
It's very special to me. It means a lot because it just shows my consistency that I've been really working for this year. My goal is just to come in here and hit all my routines and place in the top 5. So to be able to tie for first is just incredible. It's a great honor.
Ani Willis. The family's here.
Enjoy the moment!
Mark, Margie, and her sister Tina.
You can see just how powerful and dynamic she is. Yurchenko, Arabian, outstanding height, although she over-rotated just a little bit and had to take a step.
Amanda, it is so important to have that family support.
You know, these athletes go through great times, as you can see right here, but they also go through tough times, and it's very important to have the support.
And now Elise Ray. Only a freshman, Columbia, Maryland. Her mother and father, Bill and Ellen, watching Olympic-level athlete, all Big Ten honors in bars and floor exercise.
I love to watch Elise on this event. She has incredible extension, beautiful toe point, nice hop full to Tkachev. Beautiful straddle back to handstand. Getting ready for her dismount. Double layout, full out, perfect landing.
Amanda, it's nice to see smiles on the faces of these Olympians who were much criticized with their performance in 2000, enjoying the competition once again.
Well, she has every right to enjoy this routine. Let's take another look at the dismount. Very difficult double layout with the full twist and a beautiful landing.
Oh, and a near flawless performance. A score of 9.950 for Elise Ray. Ani Willis scoring a 9.875 on the vault. Here is Kristen Parker, a sophomore for Hanford, California. Very strong in the vault. Scored a 9.9 in the prelims.
Performing a pike front half. Beautiful landing. This vault starts from a 10.0.
Parker ranked number 7 in the country in this event.
Let's watch it again. You can see a beautiful pike front, beautiful landing. The only thing is a slight leg separation on pre-flight.
Parker with a 9.950. On the floors, Nebraska sophomore A.J. Lamb. She's a hometown girl out of Lincoln. First team All-American as a freshman.
Performing our second tumbling pass, a nice double pike.
Head coach Dan Kindig calls her the real deal. A.J. has 2 sisters that competed for the Huskers, Erica and Alicia. Suffered a back injury, Amanda. Missed the first 3 meets.
And this year at the NCAA, she'll only be competing on the floor exercise and the balance beam. But I'm sure she's glad to be competing on this event. It is her favorite event because she loves performing. Getting ready for her last pass. Front layout, punch front pike. Very clean.
That performance will keep the Huskers competitive. A.J. Lamb. And now, Georgia's Christy Litchie on the beam. Much concern about her ankles. Scored a 9.45 on the bars. And head coach Suzanne Younklin knows how important Litchie is to the Gym Dogs' hope for that national title.
We can see right here, she actually took the tape off for this event. Sometimes the tape on the feet can make you not be able to feel the beam as well. If her ankles are gonna hurt, it's gonna be right here on her flight series. Back handspring, layout, layout.
Handled it very well. Litchie, a senior from Cincinnati. Amanda has a very special relationship with her sister Karen.
Well, Karen and Christy have done gymnastics together for many years, and they were both on the Gym Dogs team. And Karen graduated 2 years ago and kind of passed the torch to Christy, and Christy became the new team leader.
Do you see any signs of ankle problems?
I haven't, and you know what? That's part of the game. Keeping a calm face, acting like this is easy. It's been very solid so far. Nice standing back tuck. The straddle quarter jump.
Very composed.
Christy's a great competitor. Looking for a clean dismount. Forming a front full twist.
Sister Karen and her father Dave.
Here's her flight series again. Back handspring. Layout, step out, layout, step out. You can see the pressure on the ankles. Slight wobble in the end, but a great job.
And look at the stress on that Georgia bench.
You know, a lot of these coaches can't even watch their athletes compete on this event because they are so nervous.
A very strong performance by Georgia on the beam. Litchie scoring a 9.850 to continue to put the pressure on UCLA. A.J. Lamb scores a 9.825 on the floor. And after 2 rotations, it's UCLA and Georgia running 1-2. If you look, though, at the average scores, Michigan is running number 2, Georgia 3. Bonnie Bernstein now with UCLA head coach Valerie Condosfield.
Well, Valerie, Kristen Maloney's one of your Olympians, but we only saw her compete beam in the preliminaries. She's doing 3 events today. How much of an impact does she have on your lineup?
Well, as we've seen, she's had a huge impact. She came in on floor and vault for us and gave us the scores we were hoping to get from her. She's in a tremendous amount of pain.
You know, as I think I said to the press earlier, she's having surgery next week to remove the rod and all that, and in her shin. And she's done exactly what we had hoped she would do, front floor and vault for us.
Thanks.
When we come back, Michigan will take their turn on the beam.
1, 2, 3. Let's go, let's go, let's go, blue, blue, side.
After this message and a word from your local station. We're in Athens, Georgia for the 2001 NCAA Women's Gymnastics Championships. Ready to start the third rotation. Nebraska moves to the vault. Alabama the bars. Utah the floor. Michigan with a big challenge on the beam. Georgia and UCLA have byes. A year ago in Boise, Idaho, Heather Brink was a talk of the 2000 championships. The Nebraska senior won the all-around and vault titles, and now is the Huskers student manager.
We rode Heather's coattails a little bit, you know what I mean? She really did a great job for us, and obviously here at the national championships had the meet of her life. And I mean, you know, just a talent, you know, very aggressive, very powerful, just a great gymnast. And I think the difference between last year's team and this year's team is the depth. You know, the bottom 3 or 4 routines are stronger than they were last year. So in each of the events, we're actually stronger than we were last year, but we really don't have that top end.
Heather is definitely missed by this team, but they have a strong freshman and sophomore class trying to fill her shoes.
One of those freshmen, Tammy Harris from Virginia Beach, Virginia, just turned 19 April 6th.
Performing a Yurchenko Arabian. Slight step on the landing.
Harris was highly recruited by Alabama, Florida, and Iowa. Sarah Patterson remembers her well. Alabama coming off a bye, currently in 5th place, and now they move on to the bars, and it's Whitney Morgan, a junior from Louisville, the 1997 Junior Olympic all-around champion.
Beautiful Tkachev, great height. Preparing for another release move. A piked Jaeger.
Whitney scored a 9.75 in the prelims.
This has been a very clean routine, looking for a clean dismount. Beautiful double layout.
High fives on the Alabama bench and some big cheers from Andrea Pickens. So Tammy Harris from Nebraska scores a 9.775 on the vault. And Morgan scores a 9.825 on the bars. We jump to the floor. Utah's Melissa Vitoy.
This is a very interesting second pass. Front full step out to an aerial.
Amanda, Utah is very artistic on this event, very much like UCLA.
Well, they're ranked 3rd on this event, and you can see they're getting into this routine, having a good time.
Vitoy, only a freshman. And the Utes as a team scored a 49.30 in the prelims.
It's been a very clean routine. Finishing with a Rudy through to a layout step out. Very well done.
That should be a very strong score for Vitoy, and a score Utah desperately needs, currently in 6th place. We move to the beam. Callie Rawls, the freshman, disappointing 9.1, Amanda.
Let's take a look at it right here. This is her required gym macro, and this is a skill she can do in her sleep. A gainer back handspring. A slight bit crooked, but enough for a 5-pin deduction.
So a 9.1 for Rawls. Bev Blocky, the head coach of Michigan, knew this would be a challenge. The beam, not the Wolverines' strongest suit. Missy Peterson from Shawnee, Kansas. A season of injuries for Missy.
Here comes her flight series. Back handspring, layout step out. done very nicely. Sometimes coming back after a fall is very difficult to regain your composure, but these teams practice this over and over.
Michigan battling Georgia for second place behind UCLA. Missy scored a 9.8 in the prelims.
Switch wolf jump to a 3/4 wolf jump.
Amanda, is there more time spent on one event in practice than maybe another?
Every person is different. Some people need to practice more events than others. This event, though, you need to practice over and over for consistency and to be able to get out there in front of a crowd like this and do what you know how to do. Ending with a nice round effect handspring full. A very solid comeback for Michigan.
And that should score well for the Wolverines. Vitoy scoring a 9-9 on the floor. Missy Peterson strong on the beam, 9-8-5-0. And coming up, can Michigan's Elise Ray keep the Wolverines close in the beam? And the comeback story, Utah's 4-time All-American Shannon Bowles. Stay tuned for live final round coverage of the Greater Greensboro Chrysler Classic coming up next right here on CBS. Back to the vault, Jess Wirtz of Nebraska. Sophomore, struggled with foot injuries last year.
She performs a very beautiful Yurchenko Arabian. You know, she's only done this vault since she's been in college, and you would never guess that by her performance.
Nebraska currently in fourth. And now Alabama's Reagan Tomczyk struggled on the bars. Amanda, 9.150.
Let's see where she had some problems. Right here on her release move, Jaeger, she didn't quite get her grips over the bar, and you can see she fell, and thank goodness her coach was there to push the mat in.
Alabama cannot afford any more mistakes. Natalie Barrington up next, the 2001 SEC uneven bars champion, ranked number 5 in the country. Amanda, she's capable of a perfect 10. She scored a perfect 10 against Georgia back in mid-February.
Well, you can see her form is incredible. Her legs are glued together. She had a beautiful opening. Just needs a clean landing on this dismount. Giant full to a double tuck. Great job.
Fine performance by Natalie Barrington, Alabama junior. The Crimson Tide currently in 5th place. Jessica Wirtz, a 9.875 on the vault. And Barrington, 9-9. Only 4 schools have won NCAA championships. Utah leads the way with 9. Georgia has won 5, Alabama 3, and UCLA 2. For Bev Plotke, Michigan is still working towards their first national title. The Wolverines have been close twice, finishing second in 1995 and 1999.
Once you have won a title, it's kind of like a new circle that you enter into. And, you know, yeah, we feel like we've been right on the verge and you know, hope that one of these years we'll get into that circle.
If Michigan is going to get to the next level, it's going to be with the help of this young lady, Elise Ray. Critical routine for Ray. Michigan, remember, did fall earlier.
That's right. They have no room for any further mistakes, but this is a great event for Elise. She has scored a 9-9 or better on the beam 5 times this season. The beautiful punch front. Now preparing for her flight series. Back handspring layout. Slight wobble.
Amanda, can an athlete express themselves on this apparatus much like the floor?
Well, you will see similar choreography done on both of the events, but from my personal experience, I did not like to take my eyes off the beam, so it was hard for me to actually perform in this event.
I don't blame you.
You'll see some athletes are better than others. Elise is a beautiful dancer.
Only a freshman, but remember, the U.S. Olympic team captain, 2000 Sydney Games.
That's right. She may only be a freshman, but I know she adds a lot of team leadership to this team. An extremely hard worker. This has been a great routine. She's dismounting off the side, cartwheel full.
Smiles for Elise Ray, and Michigan rallies. They will not have to count an earlier fall on the beam. Now on the floor, Utah's Shannon Bowles.
Beautiful whip, double full.
Bowles, a four-time All-American. Her story is remarkable. Broke her neck in a preseason vault last year, Amanda, and did not return to the all-around lineup until mid-February of this year.
Well, I know she's very excited to be here today. She's only a junior, so she has one more year to accomplish her collegiate goals.
Even with the great talent of Kulikowski and Bowles, it's been a struggle for Utah.
Here comes her last and final pass. Double full, very clean landing.
A very strong performance by Shannon Bowles. Her father, Paul, looking on here in Athens. Megan Marsden, the assistant of Utah, with a hug for Shannon Bowles. So Elise Ray scores on the beam a 9.875. And Bowles equals that on the floor. After three rotations, it's UCLA, Georgia, Michigan tied for second, followed by Nebraska, Alabama, and Utah. Here's Bonnie Bernstein with Michigan head coach Bev Plotke.
Bev, after two events, Michigan tied for second. What did you talk to them about in the locker room during the bye?
I just told them I was really proud of them for hanging in there on beam and not counting any falls, and that we've got what I think are, two of our really best events left, and we need to have fun and enjoy it.
Good luck. Thanks.
Up next, the Olympic spirit comes to Athens. Bonnie will have that story when we come back to the Peachtree State. Come back to Stegman Coliseum, the University of Georgia. During the 1996 Olympics, this building hosted the rhythmic gymnastics competition. And once again, this Coliseum is hosting an event with a distinct Olympic flavor. And with more, here's Bonnie Bernstein.
Well, Craig, many have said this year's field is the most talented in NCAA history, and one of the big reasons for that, obviously, is the number of 2,000 Olympians entering the college ranks. UCLA's Jamie Dancher and Christian Maloney and Michigan's Elise Ray are all competing here, and they talked to us about their journey from Sydney to the Super Six. In the past, America's Olympic gymnasts would close out their careers at the Games closing ceremonies. But now, three of the red, white, and blue's brightest stars are shining among the collegiate ranks, just months after competing on sport's greatest stage. And while some saw the Olympic showing as subpar, the ladies themselves have a different point of view.
We didn't medal, and people were disappointed, but we were all satisfied because we really came together at the end as a team and hit all our routines, and there's nothing more people could ask for. It was a lot of fun.
Fun is now the operative word for UCLA freshman Jamie Dancher, fellow Bruin Krista Maloney, and Michigan's Elise Ray, all who appreciate the change of pace from the pressure of Olympic competition.
You're not out there by yourself anymore. You have 13 other girls behind you. It just keeps the energy up for the whole team, and it's just so much more fun and more exciting.
It's totally different from club gymnastics, and a lot more fun, and that school is a big part of it also. It comes first, and then gymnastics, it's a big adjustment there too.
The transition for teammates Dancher and Maloney, as well as Ray, has been a smooth one. Each is already ranked among the nation's college elite, and while the competitive stage may be just a little bit smaller, there might come a greater reward in the concept of working toward a team goal.
I still get really nervous when I go into meets. I always have. I've been really nervous, but it's a different feeling. It's a more excited feeling, you know. I don't have to worry if I make a mistake, I'm going to get, you know, chewed out after the meet. It's more about, you know, going out there and wanting to hit for your team, and it's so much fun.
Well, as we've seen, the Olympians are already making an impact in the college ranks. Elise Ray is this year's all-around co-national champion as a freshman, although, Craig, with all of the experience she has, it doesn't seem quite right calling her a freshman, does it?
Bonnie thanks Elise Ray, and Michigan will have a bye when we come back. UCLA is in the lead after 3 rotations. Georgia not far behind with their best event, the floor, coming up. UCLA has shown muscle and might behind Olympian Jamie Dancher and Mohini Bhardwaj. Georgia has shown courage and tenacity behind freshman sensation Corey Fritzinger. And senior Christy Litchie competing for the last time. Michigan has embodied Elise Ray's style and grace in search of its first ever national title. What will it take to win the 2001 NCAA championship? Muscle, courage, or grace? Welcome back to Athens, Georgia for the 2001 NCAA Women's Gymnastics Championship. Craig Bolerjack back along with Amanda Borden. Amanda, you take a look at this race after 3 rotations. UCLA going after their second straight national championship. Georgia and Michigan battling very, very tight.
Well, a lot of the teams started off rough, but they've all pulled it back together. UCLA is going into the toughest event, which is the balance beam, and that's the event that can make it or break it. As for Georgia, they've had to pull Christy Litchie off the floor exercise, but they're going into their 2 strongest events. And for Michigan, they're just staying steady and strong. UCLA, the defending national champs, undaunted here on the road. Georgia's so loud, but yet after 3 rotations, 6 9-9s or better. They had outstanding performances on their 2 best events. If they can carry that into their 2 last events, they're going to do great.
The standings after 3 rotations, UCLA on top, followed by Georgia and Michigan tied for second. Nebraska, Alabama, and Utah, number 6. The Utes will begin their 4th rotation on the vault. UCLA the bars, Alabama the beam, and Georgia takes to the floor. UCLA is trying to be the first school to win back-to-back national titles since Georgia's back-to-back championships in 1998 and 1999. And meantime, the Gym Dogs keeping a close eye on that injured ankle of their 5-time All-American Christy Litchie. To the bars, Ani Willis of UCLA. Willis already scoring a 9-9 on the floor.
Beautiful uprising handstand. Getting ready for a Tkachev. Great height.
Amanda, UCLA ranked number 1 in this apparatus.
Ani's had a very clean routine. Looking for a good landing on this dismount. She'll be dismounting forward, double front half. Great landing.
Bam! Yeah! Oh, baby, way to finish top! Way to be top! Yeah!
Mark and Margie shouting encouragement to Ani Willis. To the floor, Georgia's Talia Vexler, a junior from Amherst, Massachusetts, a 2-time All-American.
You know, Talia actually had a surgery before her freshman year similar to Krista Maloney's. She had a rod put in her shin, and freshman year was only able to compete beam, so I know she's excited to be out here competing one of Georgia's strongest events.
Talia comes from a family of gymnasts. Mom and dad competed at UMass, brother at Temple, uncle at Penn State, and grandmother was an alternate on the 48 Olympic team.
Wow. 1 pass to go. Ending with a nice double pike. Great job.
Big roar of approval here from the hometown crowd. Georgia ranked number 2 in this event, trying to keep pace with UCLA. Ani Willis scores on the bar, 9-9. And Vexler, a very solid score on the floor of 9-8-5-0. Now, Donnie Thompson, sophomore from UCLA.
This is one of Donnie's best events. Starting with a back upright to handstand. She's performing 2 release moves, one right here. Getting her a little bit close to the bar. She needs to regroup because her second one is right here. To Kachev, to shoot to hand. A little too far over the bar. She hit her feet, and that will be a 3/10 deduction.
Thompson has been very solid on this event throughout the season. Scored 9-9 or better 8 times. But she knows that was not one of her better efforts, and maybe the door has cracked a bit for Georgia. And let's go back to the floor. Chelsea Bird, freshman from Little Rock, Arkansas. The floor, Amanda, her strongest event.
And you can tell by that tumbling pass, she did a front through to full in. Very difficult. This is the event where the crowd comes in. They have the energy, the excitement. It's very easy to perform when you're in front of people who are supporting you.
Coach Auckland right there shouting words of encouragement.
A little bit of hop on that last pass, double pike.
In the crowd, Chelsea's mom, Phyllis. That should be a solid score for Georgia. Could they be making a move?
I think my finger's like 3 inches longer. I was like, oh my God. And then I was like, hold on. You were like right there.
Thompson with their own play-by-play of what happened on the uneven bars. Bird scores a 9.850 on the floor. On the uneven bars, the 2001 champion, Yvonne Tusick from UCLA. Part of that talent pool, the deep talent pool of UCLA, a 2-time Canadian Olympian.
She performed an almost flawless routine, earning a 9.938 and the championship.
Well, the pressure is on Tusick as Georgia begins to climb towards UCLA. The Bruins, Amanda, can ill afford a mistake here.
Well, we know she can do it. She's a beautiful routine. Nice Jaeger.
Tusick scored a career best 9.975 on this routine at the Maui Invitational back in January.
She's got to be thinking about the landing. Beautiful double layout. Couldn't have asked for better.
Back to the floor. This is Georgia's Corey Fritzinger.
Korea's outstanding tumbling. Whipped through to double full.
The 2001 SEC Freshman of the Year.
She's chosen some great music to start her routine out with. The Devil Went Down to Georgia.
Amanda, as you watch each of these athletes, you can tell their personalities as she mixes it up.
That's right. That's the best thing about this event. You get to show some personality, and the athletes do have a say in the music they get to use. This is very energetic, powerful routine, ending with a beautiful triple full.
Father Cliff in the stands applauding, and the rest of the Georgia Bulldog fans. So much energy from that young lady. Here's Yvonne Tusick's score on the bars, 9.925. And Fritzinger scores 9.825 on the floor. Still to come, the fourth rotation continues, and we'll see the nation's leader on the bars, Jamie Dancher. Last year's bar champion, Mohini Bhardwaj. And last year's floor champion, Suzanne Sears, after this message and a word from your local station. Welcome back to the University of Georgia, home to the 2001 NCAA Women's Gymnastics Championships. Let's get you updated on scoring. Deidre Graham vaulting with a 9.750. Utah still in 6th place.
Let's take a look at Deidre's vault. She's performing a handspring pike front half. A little bit short on the landing and had to take a step there.
For Alabama, still running in 5th position. Lissy Smith, though, with an impressive beam score of 9.850.
Let's take a look at her flight series right here. Back handspring, layout, layout. Very nice.
Moments ago, Jamie Dancher scored a terrific 9.975 while Georgia's Corey Fitzinger performed on the floor. Amanda, take us through the routine.
Well, I can tell you by the score that this routine is nearly perfect. It's going to be hard to find any deductions. Beautiful release move. Back to a pack salto. Creative transition right up to a back uprise handstand.
Dancher scored 2 perfect 10s in this event this season. The first time she stepped on the floor at the season opener at the Maui Invitational.
Beautiful. Double Arabian dismount. Perfect landing.
Now to the floor, Georgia's Marlene Stevens.
Nice front through to 2.5. She's ranked 4th in this event. Just outstanding tumbling.
Also has been in that perfect 10 category once this season against Denver in mid-March. Ranked number 4, as you mentioned.
One pass to go. It's been very clean thus far. Ending with a beautiful double pike.
Very strong performance by Marlene Stevens, a freshman from Houston. And the Gym Dogs continue to put pressure on UCLA. Now the 2000 NCAA uneven bars champion, Mohini Bhardwaj.
Oh my goodness. That is obviously a fall, a 5/10 deduction, but it was on such a simple move. Wasn't even worth anything, and I know that could affect the rest of this routine. She has to be wondering what happened.
How do you gather yourself back quickly?
You know, these athletes train this every day because you're required to finish your routine out whether you make it or miss it in practice. But on a move like that that's so simple, it's very hard to regain it. But she's done a great job ending with a laid out, full twisting double layout.
The fall will be costly.
That was a score that UCLA was definitely looking to have. Let's watch it again. She's mounting. This is a jam. She catches her feet right here on the low bar, and you can just see she couldn't do anything to get out of it and just had to restart the routine.
A score of 9.40 for Mohini Bhardwaj of UCLA. The door was cracked. Now it's wide open for Georgia. Marlene Stevens scores a 9.9 on the floor. And that sets the stage now for the 2000 floor champion, Suzanne Sears. Her mother, Betty, in the crowd as the 3-time All-American gets her turn on the floor.
Wait to see the tumbling in this routine. Her first pass is incredible, and the crowd loves it. You'll hear it.
Sears performing to a cut of music you usually don't hear on this network.
She only has one tumbling pass to go. First one kind of counted as 2. She went up and back. Looking for a clean landing. Beautiful double pike.
Stegman Coliseum belongs to Suzanne Sears.
Let's watch his first tumbling pass again. It's incredible. A double back, immediately punch into a front, tumbling back to a double full, punch front again.
It wasn't the perfection this crowd wanted, but still a superb performance by Suzanne Sears. And after 4 rotations, UCLA, the #1 team in bars, falters Georgia, a terrific floor exercise, trail by 1/10. Average scores, UCLA, Georgia, Michigan, Utah struggling in 6th. Up next, Georgia moves on to the vault. Michigan returns from a bye to take on the floor exercise. And we'll come back to Athens after this.
Let's go, let's go, let's go, Blue!
On Flips, after checking out all the cool stuff you can get for free with Sportsline Rewards, the best sports loyalty program is at cbs.sportsline.com or AOL keyword CBS Sportsline. We start the 5th rotation. Georgia moves to the vault, UCLA the beam, Michigan the floor, Nebraska tackles the bars. Georgia ranked #1 in the vault, and Suzanne Yachlin's pregame speech had a premonition on how this championship would unfold.
Let's really get fired up. Let's take advantage of being at home. God didn't give us both byes in the last rotation for no reason. We have an opportunity here for a reason. The #1 and 2 teams in the country on a bye at the end of the meet for a reason. It isn't over until UCLA goes to beam and we go to vault. It doesn't matter how far ahead they are. They have to go to beam. And we get to go to the event that we are the best in the country and have been year after year after year.
An emotional speech by head coach Suzanne Yachlin. She has the best in the country. Freshman sensation Corey Fritzinger, SEC all-around champion, and the 2001 NCAA vault champ.
I came in here and I wasn't nervous. I just went with the flow, and I was first up, and I can't believe that I came away with the national title on vault. I would have never thought it in a million years.
Corey has had an exceptional competition today. Performing the Yurchenko Arabian.
Georgia and UCLA continue to trade punches. Fritzinger with a solid vault now to the beam. UCLA's Donnie Thompson, she faltered on the bars earlier. Amanda with a score of 9.475.
This is another very strong event for Donnie. She's a great competitor.
Amanda, Valerie Kondos Field told us, remember, about the heart of a champion. Not necessarily talent, but how much do you want it?
That's right. This event can make it or break it. And we're going to see how bad UCLA wants it. They're going to have to fight through these routines and expect nothing but perfection. Donnie's been very solid so far. She's getting ready for the dismount. A front full, very creative, and a perfect landing.
Solid performance by Donnie Thompson. And the back and forth battle between UCLA and Georgia continues. Fritzinger, 9.875. The score on her vault. And Thompson, beam, 9.9. Now Michigan has a bit of a problem. Karina Senior went out of bounds, scores a 9.8 on the floor.
Right here in our tumbling pass, a Shushanova, you can see her feet cross the white line, and that'll be 1/10 deduction.
Michigan trying to keep this a 3-way battle for first. Bridget Knabel now on the floor.
She opens with a very difficult tumbling pass, a full in, done very well.
Bridget, a team tri-captain. And Amanda really has improved her skill level each and every year.
You can see a full twisting whip back through to a double tuck. Very difficult.
Looking ahead, Georgia and UCLA, Amanda, will be done after this rotation. Michigan, though, will end on the vault. Advantage, disadvantage?
I think it's an advantage for Michigan because they know exactly what they need to do. Georgia and UCLA just have to sit and watch and hope that they can hold their position.
Knable scored a perfect 10 in this event against Southeast Missouri State back in February.
It's been a very clean routine so far. She only has one tumbling pass to go.
Playing nicely to the crowd.
Ending with a front full, front pipe. Very clean.
Well, the message is clear. Don't forget about Michigan. The Wolverines chasing after UCLA and Georgia. Over on the beam, Malia Jones, 9.425.
Let's see where she struggled. Gainer layout. You can see her lose her balance just a little bit. And not a chance in saving it.
Amanda, UCLA, they can't stand prosperity. Valerie Condos-Field, a look of concern on the beam. Yvonne Tusick and the Bruins in desperate need of a solid score as they continue to try to zero in on their second straight national championship.
Well, this is where her Olympic competitive experience could come into play. She knows how to handle pressure. She's a two-time Olympian. The flight series, back handspring, layout back handspring, very solid. You can see she's very confident.
Tusick's season's best score, 9.95.
Fred, you can hear the crowd going crazy in the background for Georgia. It's got to be very tough on the balance beam to keep your composure. Sometimes you can barely concentrate when the crowd's so loud. Nice back tuck swing down.
All this on a 4-inch beam. I would think the crowd would have to confuse and maybe annoy.
You know, sometimes when you hear extra noises around, you hear them chanting for another team, you start having other thoughts in your head, but she's done a great job of keeping her composure with a very solid routine for UCLA.
Yvonne Tusick, UCLA needed a big score. Solid performance by Yvonne Tusick. Knable scores a 9.925 for Michigan on the floor. Tusick, 9.950 as UCLA maybe a step closer to another national title. And the moments ago, the cheers you heard were for Georgia's Suzanne Sears.
Suzanne is a powerful, outstanding vaulter. And this was her very last college vault, performing a handspring pike front half, beautifully done. And what a great way to end her collegiate career.
Ranked number 9 in the country in this event.
Let's take another look. Beautiful pre-flight, great height. Not a single step on the landing.
Georgia fans wanted a 10. Not quite, but Georgia still in the hunt for a national championship. Stay tuned. Christy Litchie will make her final collegiate vault. Can she win the title for the Gym Dogs? Kristen Maloney will be on the beam. And teammate Mohini Bhardwaj, can she redeem herself and bring a title to UCLA? Coming up next, live final round coverage of the Greater Greensboro Chrysler Classic. That's next right here on CBS. Valerie Condos-Field worried about the beam. For Michigan, Bev Plotke. Can they make up some ground on the floor exercise? And for Suzanne Yonklin, Georgia's best apparatus, the vault. And Doris Allen, Jocelyn's mom, in the stands, suffered a brain aneurysm in early January, but is here to support her daughter. Marlene Stevens now takes to the vault.
Marlene is a very strong vaulter. Watch the power and height off the horse, Yurchenko Arabian. But Georgia needs to be sticking these landings if they want to make a move on UCLA.
That will keep the pressure on the Bruins. On the beam, Kristen Maloney. Amanda, the first Bruin to ever score a 10 on this event. And she did it against Oregon State back in mid-February.
Kristen has always been outstanding at this event. Getting ready for her flight series. Back handspring layout, a little bit watered down. They want to make sure they have no mistakes. Watch this. Full twisting swing down. Very difficult.
Competing, Amanda, on 3 different events with that titanium rod in her leg.
Kristen is a very tough athlete, but I can tell you, she is doing this for the team.
Ranked 4th nationally.
Getting prepared for a dismount. She'll be doing 2 back handsprings. Right here. To a full twist. Perfect landing.
Under pressure, a solid performance by Kristen Maloney. To the floor exercise, Michigan's freshman Elise Ray.
And this is the event that you can see how elegant she is. Second tumbling pass, whip half Rudy through to Shushanova, very nice.
Ray earned her first career perfect 10 in this event against Southeast Missouri State back in February. She's ranked 12th nationally.
One pass to go. Ending with something easy for Elise, a clean double full.
And that will score very well for Michigan. But where they will place is yet to be seen. Stevens on the vault with a score of 9.850. Kristen Maloney, 9.925 on the beam. And Ray dances to a 9.9 on the floor. Georgia has now reached his final vault of the competition, a possible championship resting on the shoulders and the ankle of Christy Litchie. But was it good enough to carry Georgia to a national championship?
This was the event that Christy struggled on in prelims. A beautiful pike front half and a great landing.
Near perfection for Litchie. 9.950. And to the beam, where Valerie Kondos Field giving out final words of encouragement to Mohini Bahardwaj. Mohini needs to score, Amanda, a 9.75 to eliminate Georgia. Jim Doggs looking on. In the stands, Mohini's dad, Kashal,
Mohini has scored a 9.75 or better, 9 out of 10 beamer teams this year.
Remember, Bahardwaj scored a 9.4 on the bars, so the pressure is on.
Beautiful flight series.
Mohini scored a perfect 10 earlier this season against Georgia. Very strong routine. Strength is a factor for her.
She has a lot of strong strength moves in this routine. Showing her control. She needs to hit this dismount right here. Round back full.
That could do it for UCLA. A pressure-packed routine by Mohini Bahardwaj.
Let's watch this flight series again. Beautifully performed. Back handspring, layout, layout.
Mohini Bahardwaj scores a 9.9 on the beam, and Georgia's Suzanne Yonklin knew it was enough to keep Georgia from winning the national championship, and the rest of the Gym Dogs know it as well. So after 5 rotations, UCLA and Georgia running 1-2. They're finished. 1 rotation remains for Michigan, but they have a long ways to go to catch the Bruins. Here's Bonnie Bernstein with a very disappointed Georgia head coach, Suzanne Yonklin.
Last rotation for you is a bye. Basically knowing the outcome of this meet, how tough is it to just kind of sit and wait?
Well, I mean, the waiting is really not a problem right now because no one's going to move ahead of UCLA, and hopefully that means no one will move ahead of us, so we sort of know where we finish, and, you know, we gave it everything we have.
Coming into the day, you said you were going to watch Christy let you warm up and then decide what she was going to do. How clutch was she tonight in light of the fact that her ankle was really hurting her?
It was hurting her bad. I mean, she couldn't even do floor. She didn't even warm up vaulting. It was huge, and she went for it because we thought the national championships was on the line, and, you know, UCLA was on beam, and we had an opportunity. We wanted to make sure if they made a mistake that we could take advantage of it. They're an awesome team. They deserve to win.
Congratulations, Suzanne. Thanks.
UCLA marches off with a score of 197.575, and Michigan, the only school left that can catch them. They'll be on the vault when we come back. Welcome back to Athens, Georgia. We have a golf story of our own developing. Special onlooker in the stand today, PGA pro Tom Kite. He's with Bonnie Bernstein.
Well, Craig, Stephanie Kite is a freshman beam specialist for Alabama. Her father, a pretty high-profile athlete himself, Tom Kite, 19 PGA victories, 2 on the senior tour. With your rigorous schedule, have you had a chance to really go to a lot of Stephanie's meets?
Yeah, actually, I've made a special point to make it to a lot of the meets this year. This being her first year, we've been excited about it, and you know, I formed my schedule based on not only the tournaments that I want to play, but also my kids' schedules, and it's been exciting for us to have a chance to visit her this year.
As intense as your sport is, Tom, what's it been like for you to sit in the stands and watch your daughter compete on the national college level?
Well, it's interesting because a totally different perspective when you're a spectator than you are as a player. You feel like you got control when you're out there performing, and when you're up in the stands, you know, all you can do is sit there and cross your fingers and sweat a little bit for her and hope that she does well.
Tom, thanks. Enjoy the meeting.
Tom Kite, great professional. UCLA is now in the locker room. They've completed all 4 events and hold the lead with a score of 197.575. 6th rotation, Michigan, Utah, Nebraska, and Alabama remain. And Bev Plocky in Michigan needs a team score of 49.675 to win their first ever national championship. Amanda, that's a near impossible 9.935 per vault.
It's very difficult on this event.
Shannon McKenzie, a junior from Midland, Michigan.
Performing Yurchenko full. See a step there on the landing.
Amanda, Michigan cannot afford to give away tenths like that if you expect to win a national championship. And to the floor, here is Stephanie Kite.
This is her second tumbling pass. Front full, front tuck, a little bit low on the landing.
Of course, Dad, we know, as a professional golfer, played collegiately at Texas. Her mom played golf at Arizona State. Alabama currently in 5th place. Amanda, they're learning. They'll host this event next year.
And I'm sure they're hoping that the home crowd will be able to help them. Forming a front full through to a layout step out for her last pass.
I think Dad just said you hit it right down the fairway, huh? That score for McKenzie, not enough to overtake UCLA or Georgia. However, Stephanie Kite with a 9.8 moves Alabama into 4th place. And UCLA now knows they are champions again. Well, the story of agony and ecstasy here in Athens. Ecstasy for the UCLA Bruins, agony, Utah. They've been to the championship. They know about it. 9 times they've won. And Utah trying to finish on a strong note here, Amanda, with Teresa Kulikowski on the uneven bars.
Well, this is one of the 2 events Teresa competed here at this competition. And she has beautiful lines. Preparing for her second release move. It's a Kachev right there. Beautiful form. Teresa is doing a watered down dismount right here. Toe front half, maybe a little bit easier on the knee.
This Utah team graduates only one senior. It will be very strong next year for Greg Marsden. Kulikowski scores a 9.925. And the final standings, UCLA wins back-to-back championships. Georgia second, followed by Michigan, Alabama, Nebraska, and Utah tied for 5th. UCLA is celebrating another national title, and Bonnie Bernstein will talk to the champions when we come back.
That was really, really, really hard.
CBS Sports coverage of the NCAA Women's Gymnastics Championship is sponsored by the Grand Am with Solid Form Design by Pontiac, Dr. Scholl's brand, treat yourself right, and by Scott's Turf Builder with +2 weed control for a thick green lawn and no weeds.
UCLA wins their 2nd straight national championship. Georgia in front of the home crowd, battle for 2nd, Michigan 3rd. Let's go to Bonnie Bernstein with a happy bunch of Bruins.
Valerie, it's hard enough to repeat, let alone have to finish on beam with Georgia running down your back, and then you take nothing less than a 9.5.
I couldn't believe it. I mean, I asked every one of them before they went up, you know, it doesn't get better than this. Athletics does not get better than this. Do you want it? And every one of them looked me in the eye and said, yeah. I said, then go get it.
When you look back at the season, how difficult was it to find a way to fit in the Olympians without upsetting a bunch of the girls who helped you get the first championship last year?
That was our most challenge, and it was just making sure that you treat everyone fairly and the same. And it had nothing to do with them being Olympians, It had to do with them coming right off of Sydney and being a little mentally burnt out, and our national champions going, come on, guys, we're repeating, let's go. No time to sit down.
Mahini Bhardwaj, UCLA's only senior. Compare the feeling between your first championship and this one, knowing that this was your very last meet as a college gymnast.
She
Jeez. I don't know. It's just so hard to repeat, and just to have this year go the way it did with the outcome was just unbelievable. I mean, I couldn't ask for anything more. I mean, I'm so happy to be finishing my collegiate career on this.
Congratulations, UCLA, back-to-back championships.
Down the stretch, it was a clutch performance by Mohini Bahardwaj. Georgia's second-place score is the 5th highest score ever at an NCAA championship. Michigan didn't get their title, but the Wolverines post their highest score ever at a championship. Coming up next, live final round coverage of the Greater Greensboro Chrysler Classic here on CBS. For Amanda Borden and Bonnie Bernstein and our entire crew, I'm Craig Bolerjack saying so long from Athens. UCLA is on top of the world.